Good day, everybody. This is Andrew Cole, president of the East Orlando Chamber of Commerce, and we're here for another Testimonial Tuesday. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Philip Lewis, and he is a director of sales for Spectrum Reach. But with that, we want to say a couple pleasantries. We got a couple sponsors we want to say thank you to, and first and foremost, we want to say thank you to Kaiser University, who is our series sponsor for today. They are a non-traditional and have adult learners thinking about going back to school or starting your education later in life. Kaiser University is designed to fit your lifestyle. With flexible scheduling, online courses, and personalized support, adult learners and non-traditional students can pursue their goals without compromising work or family commitments. Explore options at kaiseruniversity.edu. They're one of our members. They're the sponsor today for Testimonial Tuesday, and they're located right off of Lake Underhill and 436. We also want to say thank you again to Camacho. Boy, am I stumbling this morning. But anyway, with Camacho Photo and Cinema. If you want photos that pop and videos and films that feels like the big screen, trust Camacho Photo and Cinema. Learn more and see their work at yourself at Camacho Photo and, that's spelled out A-N-D, cinema.com. So give him a holler, check out what he's doing. He's doing a great job for us here today. We really appreciate. And we're here at Nuno's Cafe over in Avalon Park, and we will be here for our great lunch adventures today. Come out and support another member. It's a great opportunity to try some different food, network with other chamber members. So starting about 12 o'clock, when it's lunchtime, 12:30, we'll jump off of our last interview and join you for lunch. So come on over to Nuno's Cafe here in Avalon Park for a wonderful lunch to meet us for our great lunch adventures. Well, without further ado, I want to introduce again here Philip Lewis, who is an area director for Spectrum Reach. Tell us a little bit about Spectrum Reach. What's the difference between Spectrum and Spectrum Reach? What are those?
Well, sure. Well, Spectrum is really, where you're going to get your services from. For the internet service, you can get that as well as the video services. And what's really exciting right now is that Spectrum is really doing what we call seamless entertainment. And seamless entertainment is with our Spectrum Select package, you actually are going to get Disney Plus, ESPN's new direct-to-consumer app. You're going to get Paramount Plus, you're going to get Peacock, you're going to get all of these extra streaming services at no additional cost. So that's really beneficial. The other thing with Spectrum Reach, what we do is we help local businesses and regional and national businesses reach their customers. And we're taking advantage of data. And we have a lot of first-party data with over 30 million subscribers nationally. We have here in Orlando over 500,000 households that we get return path data from. So we use that to really help deliver your messages to the right audience.
Now, I know a little bit about this because I've been utilizing Spectrum and talking so many things. It's really cool to see how you can actually target your audience through things that you have through Spectrum Reach. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you actually do that?
Yeah.
And so why it's different and what makes that so important for businesses that are trying to be focused?
The biggest difference really is that we have, again, in this area in Orlando alone, we have about 500,000 plus households that we get data back from. So we know exactly what those households are watching, whether it be through a traditional set-top television box, through the cable, or if they have us for their internet service, we can actually see how they're watching that way as well. But we do everything in a privacy-compliant, anonymized way so that when we target those viewers, we're able to reach those households without knowing that personal identifiable information. But we combine that with third-party data. So we take the experience, the polls, all the different data things, so that we can actually capture, that household. And we have over 1,000 different data segments that we can do addressable streaming campaigns. And as I mentioned, how we have seamless entertainment, we also have the ability to use those same kind of streaming services. So it's not just a customer of Spectrum. We're on Fubo and Philo and Tubi, Sling, Amazon Prime Video. We can reach your customers through all those places. So whether they're a customer of Spectrum or not isn't really important. We can reach that audience, and we can do that down to a geographic level of areas, or we can even go to the zip code level. And with addressable, we can go to specific households. So if you want a household that has a certain income level and owns certain types of vehicles, we can target this household skip those 2 or 3, and then, hey, this household fits that criteria, we can target them as well.
And so with that, with different programs that are out there on platforms, and now with the streaming side, I'm sure data says specific people that watch this. Like if I'm a home improvement company, I may want to make sure I'm on HGTV or some of the other programs that are there, or I want to be specifically on the Fixer Upper program or specific ones that you can customize for that. So basically, if I'm not mistaken, as a consumer, you're targeting my audience. That if my neighbor across the hall is watching the same product or same program, it might be different to him versus me, or the folks that live in another zip code or down the street might actually be seeing something different on the advertising based on the criteria you as a business are requesting.
Exactly. So if you think about it, there's 2 ways to think about TV nowadays. There's traditional TV, which would be through the set-top box. Okay, and if I put a TV commercial on the Monday Night Football game on ESPN through that system, then every single household watching Monday Night Football within that geography is going to see the exact same commercial at the exact same time. With streaming TV, we don't have those limitations. We know that somebody is watching whenever they're being served an ad. They have to be watching to be served it. So we can go into those individual households, into those different areas. And to your point, yes, you could see a different commercial on one device versus another device. So even in the same household, there's times at my house where I'm watching a football game on the downstairs TV through the set-top box. My son-in-law is in the game room upstairs. And that doesn't work out so great sometimes because there's a little lag sometimes between the 2 signals. So he's cheering or he's mad at the TV while I haven't even seen what happened just yet. So we tend to try to sync those up. But yeah, you could even have 2 different commercials in the same house, different devices based on that. So it's a really cool time because we no longer are in a place where, hey, we just put it all out there as far as we can and hope that it works. We can be so precise and specific that it's much more efficient for the advertiser now.
For the advertiser, are there best practices that you guys work with them, or I'm kind of jumping a little bit ahead, but
That's fine.
but work with them in a sense where to help them so they can track the data, like if somebody saw their ad and then called them, you know, within a day or 2, or do you provide as part of the packages, and we can get into that in a minute, but the support, what's the support to a member? And maybe we'll start there and work our way into the finite question is, I'm a small business, I'm interested, I'm piquing my interest through this interview today, but what's the role of the, you're not just selling me a platform and walking away and you'll have these here, but what's that platform that you guys do to really help that customer that's going to be an advertiser on the platform, walk them all the way through? How does that work? Do you get involved with that?
We do. So basically, we have account executives across the market that are going to be able to work directly with each person. So this is no longer a case. I know that myself, I don't always love that if I just have to call somewhere and I'm talking to somebody and they could be somewhere else in the country, somewhere else in the world. We actually have feet on the street, our account executives to come out, speak with you, answer your questions. The first call is really what we call a discovery call. We're really trying to learn more about you, certainly going to answer any questions that you have. And in the end, we're trying to determine, is there a fit? If there's a fit, we'll have another conversation or bring you back some information, show you some research, show you what we would recommend. But if there's not, that's okay as well. It's certainly a chance to learn and see what the opportunities are. But once we put together a package, put together a campaign, get things up and running, we do have a tool called Audience Track where you, the advertiser, would actually have 24/7 access to all of your reporting, all of your data, all the information. So if you're running a traditional TV campaign, then you're going to be able to see where your commercials have already aired. You're going to see, hey, for the rest of today, where and at what times will my commercials be airing. For the streaming, it's going to give you the reporting also, all the way down to the individual streaming services and to that level. So you're getting all this detail so that you know that this is all running and running efficiently and effectively for you.
On the streaming devices, are there ways that people can click or link on things? I know, using your phones and things like that. Is that part of anything that you guys do at this point, or is it just static, just the video?
For the most part, the streaming is at this point, it's not that it's self-clickable, but online video is clickable. clickable.
Okay.
So we have a lot of clients that they might call it they're streaming, but in reality they're doing a combination of things. They're doing streaming TV
Okay.
to reach the audience, and then they're doing also display or online video, which would have the clickable, component with that.
So multiple avenues where people can advertise, not just on the TV services or the streaming services, but if you want to do advertising through internet type things or all of that.
So to give you an idea, I mean, we do, of course, the traditional TV streaming. We've already talked about online video display. Also, we help people with search. So throughout the customer journey, throughout, kind of that funnel, that sales funnel, we're going to reach them from an awareness all the way down to the purchase decision from the search campaign. And we also are doing something now called multi-screen attribution, which basically just means if I saw your commercial and within the next 7 days I went to your website, then we can match that back and we can provide reporting on that to show, did it come from the traditional TV set-top box or did it come from streaming? So being able to do that really allows our clients to see, how it's working, what's working, and it's really helped us too with a lot of clients to have, maybe they've got 2 different commercials running. And if they do that, they can kind of A/B test and say, okay, we're getting a better response rate from this commercial than we are from that commercial, so we're going to focus more on this offer. We're going to shift what we're doing. So that's really what we're always trying to do, is use the reporting to optimize.
Yeah.
We're beta testing right now, and in 2026 it'll be turned on at some point, actually being able to do a sales matchback. So the client would be able to upload all the business or customer addresses that they had for that, say, the first quarter, and then we're going to be able to say, hey, your commercial was seen this many times in those households. We can look at reach, we can look at frequency. So we're going to be able to kind of close that loop finally to say, hey, is my TV advertising actually working? Is my getting sales from this?
Now, with that, I mean that's cool. And so just to reiterate, that would mean that if I have 2 campaigns running, I'm talking about widget 1 and I'm selling widget 2, but widget 1 seems to be taking off, or product or service 1. Can I, during that campaign, I can change that and say, hey, we need to we're seeing tracking, or do you help with the tracking, or is that all up to the individual, or do
we do. I mean, we have
check in?
Exactly. The account executives are going to check back pretty much monthly, on a monthly basis.
Okay.
We have some clients that prefer, more frequent checkbacks, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can do that. We provide the access to the client to the dashboard, but in the end, we're going to always be there to provide that reporting and do. So I have some clients that they're in it all the time, and they'll raise their hand and give us a call and ask us a question. I have others that they'll say, oh yeah, remind me what my login is again, how do I do that? And that's okay, it's meant to be there for them, however they wish to use that.
Very cool. So that's, I think that's huge within the platforms now, is that you're not one ad, I'm stuck, and now it's finite in a sense where it can be targeted to a client, not like, geez, how do I get on Monday Night Football? I don't have billions of dollars to spend on a Super Bowl ad. Not that we're going to take away from Super Bowl, but but from a football game or from
I have to mention, you brought up Super Bowl. In 2027, for the first time ever, the Super Bowl will be simulcast on ESPN. So we will have the opportunity for our clients to actually place their spots on the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And within the Super Bowl, but at a local level.
Yeah.
At a very much more targeted level and not at a national level. So that's really going to be exciting for us. We're excited about that. But yeah, we do constantly optimize campaigns. FunSpot is one of our big advertisers, and they were running a commercial in what we call our hotel zone, is what we say internally, and it's basically where we actually are going into the hotel rooms, and on the systems that are delivering commercials in the rooms throughout Central Florida, we're able to place on the top 21 cable networks. So we know that when people travel, they're still watching their news, they're still watching sports. If they're taking a break with the kids, they're watching shows that they would like, so we can put that there. Well, FunSpot was running a commercial just in that area. It was with an offer specific to tourists and people coming in that way. Their response rate, because they had a QR code on it, was so strong that they were very excited about it. We're talking about it, and it's like we reminded them that, hey, that's just running there. So we then moved that commercial out to the whole market because the offer was doing so well.
That's great. So I'm here with Philip Lewis. He is with Director of Sales for Spectrum Reach. We're here at Nuno's Cafe today. This is here in the heart of Avalon Park, and we're going to be here for our great lunch adventures. And so we ask you to come join us today for that. Support a local business that's here. Enjoy us for some lunch. I want to do a quick shout out again. Our video is provided by Camacho Photo and Cinema. And from first frame to final edit, Camacho Photo and Cinema is dedicated to excellence. They pride themselves on delivering visuals and don't just document an event, but truly capture its emotion and energy. So I'm going to say thank you to Camacho Sound and Camacho Photo and Cinema with that. And also want to say thank you to Kaiser University. Kaiser University is our sponsor today, and they have a student service focus. Kaiser University isn't just about classrooms and degrees, it's about support every step of the way. With dedicated student services, academic advising, and career guidance, students have the tools they need to succeed both academically and professionally. Whether you're just starting your college journey or looking for an advance your career, Kaiser University provides the resources to help you thrive. Check them out over at kaiseruniversity.edu. So we want to say thank you to our sponsors today and finish up some more with Philip here. So we've been talking about a number of different things that businesses can use, and I think this is cool. And I know the one question a lot of people are going to ask is, what does this cost? Now, and that's going to be a tough question because it's what do you want? How much do you want to do? It's all within that. But how does somebody look at, or if, we're here in the fall, a lot of businesses start their budgeting at this time of year. What as a rule of thumb, if I want to do a campaign, how long should campaigns run? What do I need to start looking at as a budget? What should I, I know the answer to this, but I'll ask you, is this more affordable than what it was 10 years ago or 15, 20 years ago when, you saw TV ads and it's just up on the TV screen, you pray it's going to reach and it's on Wheel of Fortune or playing at 2 o'clock in the morning. Help somebody walk through the process of, hey, I'm intrigued by this. What do I need to do to start the planning? Is it a phone call to say, hey, look, I've never done this. I don't know a budget. Where do we start?
So we certainly prefer to have that initial discovery conversation. And what we're trying to determine is just what the real need is. Who is the audience you're trying to reach? What's the geography that's important to you? And then we're going to customize and build the campaign based on that. So we have clients spending from very little, but focused in a tight geographic area that makes sense for them. And then we've got other clients that are buying. I've got one client that's buying in over 40 markets across the country, here, based from an AE here in Orlando. And not even all of those markets is Spectrum a provider in those markets. Because of our streaming partnerships, we can do that. So what we do is we figure out what that right fit is for you, and then show you this is what we would recommend, this is what it's going to take to be effective and what's going to work in that geography against that audience. We really like to prove it out. So a lot of times we'll start with a client that maybe they've got 4 or 5 locations across Central Florida. Our recommendation isn't always to start with all 5 locations at once. Let's beta test it. Let's start with one smaller geography. Let's see that the commercial and creative is working. Let's see that your offer is working. Let's see that we're getting response, and then we can always scale up. So we don't have to start with a big, buy right from the beginning. But we have the ability to do that. We have the ability to get in front of our clients this way.
So what's a typical campaign run? How long do you run something, or do you run it for a month and then you hiatus, what's like a typical, is there
what we would always recommend is a 12-month annual. And what that does is it's going to allow time for the campaign to be up and going. The reality is, for any business or service, about 98% of the people out there aren't a potential customer right now. They're not in market at this moment for that thing. So the example I use sometimes is, hey, I just bought a new car, and I am not in the market for a car, and I'm not going to be, don't plan to be, don't hope to be, I'm looking for wood to knock on. But if I had a car accident today, God forbid, then I could be in the market very quickly. So the key thing is it's not about trying to just pinpoint the exact time somebody's going to be ready to buy. You've got to build your brand. You've got to build awareness. You've got to become, top of mind for that person, so that when they are ready to make a purchasing decision, then they're going to know your name. And instead of Googling just generically, they're going to actually type in your name or some form of your name to get to your website.
To take a quote from a movie, who are you going to call?
Yeah, exactly.
So with that, I think I've said this a number of times to people is, if you have a product or service, I may not need something today, but when I do, I need to know who to call,
right,
or where I'm going to go, because I can Google search, but you don't want to be in that pinch where, am I getting the right person? I'm reading these reviews. Are the reviews accurate? Are they, and now when I'm in desperate need, I'm in haste. I'm not,
right.
I don't have that trust or that first person that I feel that is investing in things, and my name's out there. So it's growing that.
I hear all the time from clients, especially businesses that haven't advertised before, that word of mouth is their best advertising. And they're right. It is their best advertising, and the reason it's their best advertising is because they've delighted the customer. All we are is an accelerant, so we can extend that word of mouth that much faster. We can get it in front of that many more households, and with so many people constantly moving to Central Florida, I don't care how long a business has been here, there are tons of potential customers out there that don't know about you.
We got 1,500 people a week that are coming to Orange County.
Exactly.
So, that's a market that, in a month, you have so many new eyes that could be on your business. So
exactly.
This is a great opportunity for our businesses to get involved. So if somebody is interested, if we pique their interest or want to look into this, how do they get in touch with whoever? Who should they call? How do they find you?
They can certainly reach out to us. They can go online and find Spectrum that way, and connect to us. Certainly I'll give you my information. You can have that as well. But we can certainly connect you to an account executive. We've got a great professional group of salespeople that do a wonderful job in really uncovering. And again, it's about finding if there's a right fit or not for you.
So that's at spectrumreach.com is the best way. You can start your search there, and then we can get you tailored to that. You can call the chamber office because we have a lot of them, and their information is listed with that too, or go to our website.
Yeah, and I'll give my number too. If you want to call me directly, I'm happy to forward the information or connect you to the right person. That's 407-745-2515.
And that's to talk to Philip directly, and he can get you connected with what's there. On the creative side, just to kind of wrap this up, I mean, is this something do I need a videographer like we have here? Like, I'm just going to shout out to Camacho Photo and Cinema to create something. Can you do it yourself? Is this something that you actually can help build with that?
We have a lot of options. Certainly, Camacho would be a great option for the chamber members. We also have some AI tools that we use, that we can help them, and they can actually either build, or our AE could build the commercial for them. So there's a lot of low cost and no cost options, as well as for our clients, we do have our Kernel creative services as well. So we have a team of producers and professionals that create award-winning spots all the time for us. So
that's
lots
awesome.
of options. And if they have their own commercial, we're good. We don't need to necessarily do that for them.
So with that, just kind of going from here, if you don't know, and you're not sure, and you're working on your budget, and you're trying to plan your 2026 and where we're going to be, just give me a holler.
Yeah.
And they'll put you in front of anybody that's there that can connect you, just to have the conversation.
Yeah.
And then you can build that budget. Because if you don't know, you might say, I've got $500. Well, it may not be $500, but we need to build your budget. Look at what you want to do. Where's your reach? What's your growth plan? Come up with a strategy, utilize the partners that are there that can help you get to where you want to be, and then work that plan and utilize that. So I think this is really a unique, and I think it's come such a long way from where TV was when I was growing up, where it's like, I remember seeing these crazy ads at 2 o'clock in the morning on the Channel 6 type thing, where it was just, I'm like, boy, somebody didn't get, they showed them like 10 times in a row, but probably told them, yes, we'll show you 10 times on this date.
So it's amazing you mentioned that, though. Nowadays, people are watching no matter when they happen to be watching. One of the commercials that sticks out to me, and I always go, as if I say, chia. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
Yes, the Chia Pet. So nobody's ever needed a Chia Pet. Nobody ever necessarily even really wanted a Chia Pet. The commercials only ran overnight or at kind of the worst times, the worst shows, but we all know about it. So don't worry about that part. Worry about reaching your audience. We can help you find them. We can help reach them, and we can help measure in the end how your results are going.
Well, to wrap up here, we're here with Philip Lewis. He's the Director of Sales for Spectrum Reach. They can be found at spectrumreach.com. So if you have any questions when it comes to on-air advertising, even streaming services, give Philip a holler if you want to share your number again,
Sure.
or go to spectrumreach.com.
Yeah, you can just give me a call at my work number at 407-745-2515.
And to wrap up a few more things, we do have a couple events that are coming up real soon. We've got a few seats left for our transportation on the move. This is our luncheon coming up on October 15th. We'd love to have you come out. I think there's a few seats left at that. That's 11:30. We'll be at the Central Florida Expressway Authority's main offices right off of 408 there. Our Connect Her conference is coming up in December. That's on the 4th. You can go to eocc.org, come on out and find out more. It's going to be at the Center for Health and Wellbeing over in Winter Park. It's a great way to connect with those. Don't forget, we have our Next Level Real Estate and Trades Network that happens on the 1st of the month. We've got coffee clubs through the month. We've got our Feast Feast coming up. That's going to be the next one. If you want a good advertising opportunity, bring a bottle of booze to the office. We'll plug you there. So come on in for that. Again, we want to thank Kaiser University for sponsoring our Testimonial Tuesday today. With that, just the episode. With that, Kaiser University believes in learning doesn't stop in the classroom. Through partnerships with local businesses and our community organization, students gain practical experience in building meaningful connections. From the internships to community service projects, Kaiser is helping students grow while giving back. Learn more about their programs and community involvement at kaiseruniversity.edu. And again, thank you to Camacho Photo and Cinema. If you're looking to showcase that event, brand or milestone, as we were just talking here with Spectrum Reach, Camacho Photo and Cinema transforms ordinary moments into unforgettable visuals, delivering stunning photos and film quality video that you'll treasure. So give them a holler. You can find them all at eocc.org. We really appreciate your time today. Check in again. We'll be back with another Testimonial Tuesday. And say thank you again, Philip.
I appreciate
and we look
it.
forward to it. Give us a holler. Find out something new. See if there's a product that's right for you. And we appreciate you guys coming in and us supporting another member.
Thank you.
You have a great afternoon.